All right. Welcome to Fortnightly Astrology with Fiona Aedgar and Craig Simpson. Fiona Aedgar is FionaAedgar.com, and Craig, well, that's just RadiantCreators.com. So, Fiona, I am glad you were well. We had to, battle some forces of evil to make it happen this fortnight, but we were victorious, of course, as always. How are
hmm
you doing, and how are the stars looking?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I just want to talk about some of the astrology that has passed. We had a lunar eclipse on the 30th. That was a little crazy. Things got a little weird around that. So of course eclipses affect the next 6 months. So check your chart where that eclipse fell. We also had a crazy Venus Uranus opposition on the 27th. And I heard a lot of breakups. There was a lot of instability. There were a lot of unexpected events that occurred around that time. Of course, Neptune was stationing direct in Pisces a couple of days after that. So, anyone that's been having sleep issues, I know that a lot of people, including myself, have just not been able to get a full night's sleep in many, many months. But actually, as soon as Neptune turned direct, that ended for me. And I've been sleeping very well. That's because Neptune has gone direct. When Neptune is retrograde, it's like the cold, uh, harsh, reality that we live in. There's no beauty. Neptune is a very soft energy when it's behaving, and there's that lack of spirituality, and everything just seems so bloody awful and harsh. But things should look up with Neptune direct. Let me see. Is there anything else that I need to speak about? No. Okay. So let's go straight in to for the next fortnight astrology. So the first major aspect that we have is on December 5th. Mercury, the planet of communication and thought processes, makes a supportive trine to Chiron. Chiron is, of course, the wounded healer. That will be a very healing day for conversations, talking things over, and maybe if you've been having some issues with another person, that's a good day to talk it out. Actually, on the same day, Venus is in trine to Neptune. So Venus is the goddess of love. She is connected to romance, relationships, partnerships, money, pleasure, and beauty. When she makes a supportive trine to Neptune, our relationships feel very otherworldly. They you can put people on a pedestal, but it's in a good way. There's like a soft rose tinted glasses energy around that day. It's very romantic. It's definitely a good day to soothe over any relationship problems. So the next major aspect that we have is on December 9th. The sun is in square to Neptune. Do not drink alcohol on this day because you will make a fool out of yourself, or you'll wake up with a stinking hangover. You'll do some drunk shopping online or just some other activity that you don't want to get involved in. On December 10th, Venus makes a beautiful sextile to Pluto. Our relationships become more intense. If you're not in a relationship, your relationships with your friends or your family will be really good on that day. It's a good day for kind of smoothing over issues. Your love life intensifies. You can have very deep and meaningful conversations. The next major aspect is on December 11th. The sun is in trine to Mars. So in fire signs, a lot of energy on this day. It's a good time to work out, expel some of that, excess energy. You will be feeling super assertive, and it's just a good day to get stuff done. On December 13th, Mercury is in square to Neptune. So this can add a bit of fogginess, and conversations are not going to be clear. If you have anything important to discuss with another person, it's best to leave it for another day. You may think that someone is lying to you, and they might be. This kind of day, it's kind of best not to really talk much at all. Do some artwork, meditate, get lost in a good movie or a good book. So on the 14th of December, we have a new moon, total solar eclipse, and it's at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. Check your chart, see which house that falls in, because it's going to be different for all of you. It's kind of like a big explosive eclipse, and like I said earlier, eclipses will affect the next 6 months. This one is all about freedom, new beginnings, in the Sagittarius house of your chart. It is quite positively aspected, apart from a square to Neptune. So that will add some confusion around the truth, and it may bring a lack of clarity, a lack of direction. It does make a positive aspect to Mars, so you can expect some breakthroughs over the next 6 months. The Mercury is actually on the south node in this eclipse. So, what that suggests to me is, first of all, the eclipse is bringing us, all of us, a better way to communicate. You also may be communicating with people from the past. That's just what I get from that. So, on the same day, Venus is sextile Jupiter, which of course will then be in the eclipse chart. So you will actually have that. All of us will have that influence in that eclipse energy for the next 6 months. Venus sextile Jupiter is a really good aspect for relationships. Okay. That's good times with your loved ones. Maybe you'll meet someone new. You may be, maybe you might spend a little more than usual. You might want to check that if you don't have the money. So the next major aspects are all on the 15th. There's 4 of them here. Mercury is in trine to Mars. Venus is sextile to Saturn. So you'll be feeling super energetic. You may have a kind of thrilling conversation with someone. You'll be planning for, the months ahead in your mind, looking at the bigger picture. And actually, there's a lot of positivity here. And there's a lot of hope and faith and optimism for the future. So Venus sextile Saturn, that is about bringing stability and maturity within your relationships in a good way, not in a boring way. On the same day, this is a big day. Venus enters the sign of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the mutable fire sign, and she's very excitable in this sign. She may want to run off into something new. She's adventurous. She needs a lot of freedom. Normally, this would be a good time to travel. Maybe you can travel. I don't know where you are. So on the same day, Chiron goes direct. Yay! Thank goodness for that. I'm so looking forward to that, because Chiron has been making a square to my ascendant in its retrograde motion, and it has been pretty crazy. And I had a lot of health issues, but those have really improved now. So Chiron, of course, is the wounded healer, and he's connected to our wounds, our traumas, but he also holds the key. So if you look at the glyph for Chiron, it actually looks like a key, and it's a doorway that we can enter to heal ourselves. When Chiron goes direct, it's much easier to get to the bottom of things. Why am I wounded? What do I need to do to fix this? And of course, we can always fall back on the Chironic arts, as I call them. So that's astrology, music, ancient healing, natural medicine, astrology, all of those good things. That's going to be a big day, so put that in your calendar. So those are the major aspects for the next 2 weeks. We do have an exciting guest on the 10th, We're doing a Christmas special, and we're actually going to have Thomas Sheridan join us. Yay!
I know that's going to be quite intense. I'll have to get ready, make sure I get enough sleep because I've had trouble sleeping forever. So I will make sure on the 9th that I'm asleep. And Chiron going direct on the 15th, that makes me happy because, yeah, I mean, Chiron is such a powerful aspect, such a powerful. It it's a is it like a what is Chiron? Is it a meteor or is it a star? What is that? Is it
It's a it's a minor planet.
it's a minor planet? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but you certainly feel it where you have it in your chart. And so I think that it getting ready to go direct is something that, yeah, I'm looking forward to. We all have our own little like personal holidays that, and for me, the 15th will definitely be one when Chiron goes direct because I just, you know, anybody this year as it comes to a close and we start next year, I'm all about I'm really into collecting all positive aspects of anything, you know. Like if
Mhm.
it's good, I want it, so I'll take it. You know, we finally had some, what, Mars is direct now, Mercury was direct, we're finally getting, you know, that off our backs, and now Chiron can step up and go direct. That's going to be nice too because, yeah, I've had enough of the wounded healer personally. I'm done. Enough. You can only bleed so much, right? Eventually, you have to heal. You have to have scar tissue. Okay,
Yes.
so enough is enough. And well, anyhow, with all that said, where are so you got some cards for the fortnight?
I have. Okay. So the first card that I pulled is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords to me is a card that speaks of rest, much needed rest, contemplation, just taking the time to chill. I think we all need to chill because everyone is so full of this this kind of anxious energy. Hopefully getting some sleep. The image on the card that I have, it always looks to me like someone is getting energy healing. So Reiki, Sikkim, shamanic healing, something like that. It's going to be a good time for that around the time of the next eclipse. The next card that I pulled is the Ace of Cups. So the aces are like doorways of opportunities. Cups is the emotional side of things, and the Ace of Cups can be a real breakthrough in terms of a relationship, an emotional breakthrough. Sometimes this to me is the pregnancy card. Okay, especially since the next card is the moon. I actually felt that someone is pregnant or thinking about it, and the kind of message here is that they need to rest and they need to relax. The card that fell out of the deck, there's always one, is the star. I honestly think that we're going to be feeling emotionally and spiritually a lot better over the next couple of weeks. And it just feels to me like there is a more peaceful energy coming through. The thing that I noticed when I was looking at these earlier is that we have the star and we have the moon. So the missing card is the sun. Get some sun. Have try and get together with people if you're allowed to do that. Just feel some joy. Connect with your inner child. Do some coloring. Play with your pets. Play with your kids. Do something that makes you feel joyful because we need that joyful energy. Of course, the sun also has a child on it. So someone's pregnant, or it's got something to do with the child. That's a big message here, and I actually feel like it's going to be a really happy occasion for them, and some better times are coming. I think better times are coming for all of us because this year has just been so crazy. It's like, we had Venus retrograde, Mars, and then Mercury. We just didn't get a break for the whole year. So it's time for some rest and some fun.
I'll take it. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, rest and fun. Um, 2020 has definitely been the year that kind of pushed a lot of aware people into themselves, to sort of go in this little, you know, personal dark night of the soul, you might say, to figure out what their life is about, what life is about. Because, yeah, it's been real compression right back into ourselves. Like, what really matters? Is it your job to save the world? Is it not? It, it's definitely been a a non-voluntary pilgrimage for many people, really into themselves, because they couldn't go anywhere, and the world was crazy. People have been at their worst. I mean, you know, I've never seen mind control. I've never seen, like, the sheep herd it like this in my life. I hate using that term, sheeple or sheep, but man, total lack of discernment, individuality. Just, I mean, humanity is not very impressive in 2020.
Yeah.
A lot of it, not all of it, but you know, so I think I'm ready this December, and moving into 2021, to like just get over this internal pilgrimage. Let's get back to being a part of the world again. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. Well, what's your what's your cosmic weather? What's your insight in this fortnight as it comes along? And of course, on the 10th, we'll definitely be adding to everything that we come up with today, because Crazy Thomas will be here, so it will all will be expanded upon.
Oh, I don't you just love him though? I love
Oh,
Crazy Thomas.
absolutely. Yeah,
He's so much fun, and he's so intelligent and insightful. I think like his page is like I try not to spend a lot of time on Facebook these days, but his page is the one that I usually go to.
absolutely. No, I would say that he has definitely proven during 2020, to be a national treasure to Ireland, and probably kind of an
Yes.
earth treasure, because people have been down. I mean, they have, and if you're a bit aware, if you're awake, I use those terms humbly. Um, then you know that what's going on is nothing to do with the virus. You know what I mean? And all this. And so we
Mhm.
know 2020 has been a difficult year, and we're seeing tons of good and evil are very apparent. And he's definitely, I can say for myself, has really helped keep me, positive, uh, looking deeper, seeing things clearly. I mean, I think he's definitely been a real star. There you go, in the sky. A guide for everybody else who's
Mhm.
like us, who's crazy. Basically, he's definitely been like the the therapist for the crazy people. Just somehow
Mhm.
he's been like the perfect. I I think 2020 was like Thomas Sheridan's destiny to truly help
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, and you know what? Thomas is a bit of a seer. Like he predicted a lot of this stuff, in his old videos. So he's definitely a bit of a seer and very psychic.
Oh yeah, I first came across Thomas with his work on psychopaths. You know, because everybody's known one or two. You probably have some in your family, possibly, or you work with them. And his work there was just really a value to me. And then ever since then, of course, just follow Thomas because he's doing great stuff. But you know, well, I look forward to that on the 10th. We'll expand upon stuff. But before then, yeah, what are you sensing for the immediate cosmic energy that's out there?
More truth bombs, I think. More because to me that eclipse that's coming up in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about truth, and obviously an eclipse is like a full moon on steroids. So I think we're going to see stuff, um, you know, being dropped, or and the kind of normies are going to lose their heads over it.
I think that would be great. I think it's something a lot of people are hoping for, either like massive truth bombs that do rock the normies, uh, or just a good solar flare would you know,
Yes.
one of the two, because really what we've got going right now is absolutely not that good. I mean, sure, it's fine. The aware people can kind of go on like an internal pilgrimage and just work on themselves, and that's what we've had to do 2020 for the most part, at least since March. We've been doing that. But enough is enough. I'd like the world to start, happening again, and that would be great. Just to stir things up. I would love it because, like, I think here in it's probably worldwide because I think it's not just localized to America, but like around the election, most people I know who are aware, spiritual people, they just felt like that election night here, where Trump was just winning, winning, winning. All of a sudden, everything stops, and then all of a sudden, hundreds of thousands of votes start showing up for Biden wherever they happen to be needed in these boxes that show up. I mean, this like the fraud is amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And usually,
Yeah.
you know, the more horrible person with the most leverage usually wins, and so that would be the evil empire at this point. And I've kind of been mourning because I'm like, wow, we had a president for 4 years. Now we'll have just straight up the deep state, the globalists, the reptilians, whatever, like pure evil will have an avatar. We will not have a president. I'm like, sorry, world, but get ready to be bombed. I mean, I can't, especially if you're probably in the Middle East, you're life's going to end
Yeah.
soon.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
so I know that a lot of people are really wishing for that. So let's have some mega truth bombs. I'm all about that. And that or a solar flare, whatever it takes to get society to off the course that it's on, because what's really strange right now is there's so many people who I don't think that many people even voted for him. I think it's such a scam. But people who were kind of pro Biden in this country, like, it has been proven now that the low information voter is a weapon of mass destruction. And even the people who were like, "Yay, let's vote for him," are now going, "Oh, wait a second, you mean now we're gonna all live in a gulag and we have to go work at munitions factories?" It's like, yes, that's what he said he was going to do. I was I don't like that. Well,
Too
dumbass.
bad.
Yeah, yeah, it was your idea, so,
Yeah.
well, I'm with you. I think that I have a feeling, and it's been dim, but it's been getting brighter. It really has been. That there's an amazing book. It's called The Secret Destiny of America, and it's by Manly P. Hall, quite the eclectic character. He wrote
Mhm.
Secret Teachings of All Ages and some many books that people have probably perused at some point or the other. And he makes it's a couple of chapters on it, all of which are based on times that America was sort of miraculously saved, especially in its founding. And so, now we find out, either this is the shining city on the hill, it plays the role that, many people in the world think it does, or I guess we were wrong. So so, so it's game time. That's my cosmic weather. Let's see what happens and stay sane, really. We're all good at the internal pilgrimage right now. Just stay strong. Time is weird, like we were talking about. The world is weird. People are weird. We're seeing
Mhm.
just, craziness that should not exist on the planet right now is on the planet. And so, we'll find out. We'll find out what's next. I think by the time, like, that's definitely something I feel in the cosmic energy. By the time we're talking to Thomas on the 10th, we will have stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
I get that.
will.
I get that feeling as well. I mean, of course I've looked at the astrology, and well, Harris, she is not having a good time right now. So she's under some really brutal astrology aspects, or transits. And Biden is about to be hit with one towards the end of December, I believe. I don't know. If you check my website, I've written it all out there. I made a prediction. So, let's see if that comes to pass. something else that I've noticed is a lot of artifacts, a lot of, archaeological artifacts are being uncovered from pagan times. And, I'm a red blooded pagan woman. And during pagan times, strength and honor were really valued. But as time has gone by and people have been comparing themselves to sheep now for, a couple of thousand years, well, that's literally what they are. They've turned into sheep that wear masks and worship the television god. So if you want to empower yourself, check out your pre-Christian ancestry, work with those gods, work with that spirituality, because that's where you're going to find your empowerment, not working with a god who belongs to a country where you probably have never even been to.
Yeah, and you get in touch with that, definitely like go eat like an elk heart and carry a sword. I personally find that it gets me in touch with my, my pagan roots. Oh, goodness, Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. I think that it's really important to get into whatever, primal roots that we have. I mean, because we definitely, unfortunately, I think a lot of what got us here is a turning our backs on nature, turning our backs on life, good character, strength. I mean, I am proud of my German heritage. I'm not strictly from Germany, but mostly, German and British. And whatever happened to the to that ancient Germanic saying, peace is hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's important, and without conflict, there's no opportunity for glory. I mean, so yeah, I think that we should all get in touch. There's something about our pagan roots, that is always so just badass in its nature, and it helps you kind of have heroes, if you know what I mean. It helps you go, wow, I wish I was, or maybe I don't wish I was there, but I can connect to, like, I mean, you imagine being the Celts and the ghouls, when Rome showed up,
Mm-hmm.
and that battle. And right now we're beaten by basically nothing.
I know.
We give up before the fight ever comes. So yeah, I I'm all for it. I think you know Heelung, that band. Oh my gosh, if anybody, there you go.
Yeah.
If you want to get charged up and you want to get in that energy, like while you're sharpening your machete and eating some red meat, we'll post a link in the show notes for Heelung for the yeah, seriously. Get yourself a big tankard of meat and some red meat and a sword or a
Yes.
spear, and like watch Hilong the whole concert, and you'll just be,
That's the
yeah,
spirit.
yeah. There's the Christmas spirit, damn it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and go.
I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not someone that really gets teary easily or cries easily, but sometimes I do find myself getting a bit misty-eyed when, I read books or watch movies about, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, so much. It's completely devastating. There's so much knowledge, strength, honor, spirituality, our connection with nature. We have lost that, and it is so upsetting. We have to bring that back, That's the only way that we are going to live in some kind of balance again.
Yeah, I agree. And you broke up a little bit there, but it may have recorded. But it's fine. The message came across. Um, and I
Okay.
think I think that also a great book, for me, that I've been thinking about lately along the same lines is Sand County Almanac. I mean, the title of the book sounds so stupid. It really, he blew it on that one. But really, it's this book. God, Aldo Leopold wrote it, and it's old. It's a pretty old book, and it's about, he was an early, I think in like 1910, or I forget when he was alive, but it's a while ago. And he really writes this incredible, passionate bunch of essays in it's uh, about his love of nature and the way he saw it in such a deeper way than most people do. And he talked about like it's both like he writes about the beauty of it, and in that also his sorrow that it's being destroyed. And when you
Yeah.
read it, it just it yeah, if you don't want to be greatly challenged, don't read it, but it makes you like see everything differently. And one of the things that has always struck me about that book is where he says the problem is we see the land, we're not the land. And that's where we went
Yeah.
wrong. At a certain point you won't see it, it won't be separate from you. And yeah, so well, you're right, there are artifacts. I noticed that there are artifacts being found more and more,
Mhm.
and it's gotten to the point where you just see it. I mean, if one thinks about the last year, I mean, and why do we have such interest in these artifacts, like finding skeletons, and then like remaking the head, like the bust of the person, now that we can do that very well. And like you look at those people and they're just like they're like familiar. So yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's a primal renaissance going on, and I don't know if
Yeah.
everybody's doing it, but those who are, definitely, that's our that's our future. So I'll just live it, and if anybody else catches up, great. But if not, you'll find me like chasing rabbits in my elk skin. you know,
Well,
yeah.
for anyone listening to this that wants to connect with their Northern European ancestry, I've started a little page on Facebook, and it's called Frigga World Prayer Day. So Frigga is a goddess, a Norse goddess. She's the consort of Odin, and every month on the full moon, you can make an offering, you can meditate. And I've been posting the pictures that other people have sent me from around the world. And she's also a goddess connected to prophecy, and I find that to be very powerful. And I was actually scrying after I did the ritual in the glass of wine that I offered her, and seeing very, very clear images. So if anyone wants to connect, come and join us on that page. And there's one for Odin as well. There's Odin World Prayer Day. It's called prayer, but it's a ritual or a meditation or an offering. It's just some way for us all to connect together and to connect to our ancestral gods.
Hmm. Yeah, well, definitely. I'll link to that in the show notes over here on the Radiant Creators side. I'll link to that for sure. And also the book that you recommended the other fortnight. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name because it's just foreign to me. Sort of the Ruin Yoga. Um,
Oh yes, the Rune Yoga.
yeah,
That was by is it Adrid Thorson?
I I don't
Um,
remember the title. I forget the title because it's just not, it's not my normal dialect. you know, I forget the title, but I'll link to that again. I
okay.
might have it here, but that was amazing. The Rune Yoga. I've only it's called Futhark, a handbook of rune magic.
Yes,
You know,
that's right.
and so,
Yeah.
and something I want to mention to people is if you get the book, because we got it, it's got great pictures. It's a great book, good to go. Um, if you're a person in a hurry, there's an Audible version too, so you can just listen to it. And just listening to it is really great because I mean, you get it. It's a wonderful book, especially if you are interested in the ruins, and then also their history, the world that they were made in, and what they mean to people now. It's a wonderful, but also, yeah, the poses. I mean, if you, I would speak highly of it. I'm only just getting into it, but another way of getting it connected to earth, connected to nature, ourselves, and
Hmm.
also that pagan power, you know um,
Yeah.
and it is exactly that. So is doing those poses because it's intense. So while you're doing all the stuff and you're watching Heelong, basically, boom, it wouldn't hurt if you struck a pose or two. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I mean I found them to be just incredible. They're so effective. You can, work with certain runes to promote healing, good health, emotional healing, or you can work with others for spiritual guidance, spiritual powers, your finances. There's literally everything in life is in the runes. And they, if you're of that ancestry, it's so empowering, and you can just feel a connection kind of ripple through you. The energy just the current just ripples through you.
It does. It does. It definitely does for us. We connect to those and very new to it, but yeah. So I hope that we've given people some fun, some well, definitely some stars to think about, and some cards to think about, and some cosmic energy to think about. Cosmic intuition, and we're all looking forward to expounding upon all that with Thomas soon on the 10th. But yeah,
Mhm.
really, I just recommend to people, hey, everybody, hang in there. The energy out there in the world has been shitty. So if
Yes.
you feel challenged, if you're down, if you're having, the occasional dark night of the soul, um, we're here for you. Like, you're not
Yes,
alone.
we are.
You're not alone at all.
We're all in this together. So, yeah, it'll be good to catch up with Thomas and see what predictions he has for next year. I'll be going over the astrology for next year, and yeah, it'll just be just good fun. I'll have a glass of wine maybe, since it's our Christmas special.
Oh, I will for sure. Yeah, I will. I will also. It's always good. It's very good for a nice show to do exactly that. And I'll have my little, big fireplace going in the background. So if we do video, it'll all be very, very nice back there. Yes, that's right. That's right. My fake fireplace. But by
Very
golly,
cozy.
it's cozy. But I will have a candle burning next to it. Okay, and a coyote skull. All right, so don't give me too hard of a time. Wow. Wow. Have we covered it all? Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
All right. Well, everybody stay strong. Do what it takes to be powerful right now. Find the strength in yourself because, we've been forced to find that this year. So continue.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get better.
Yeah, I agree. Okay,
All
bye
right.
for now.
Bye, everybody.